Welcome to the Frugal Gardener's homestead garden. That makes me the Frugal Gardener. This is probably one of my more serious videos. I started posting on YouTube in 2016. I've done hundreds of videos since then, but this is probably the one I've struggled with the most, the one I spent the most time on, did the most research on, because it's important. And hoping you guys stick with me on this, because this is about my health, your health, and the health of your family members, especially the elderly. Now, it's not about medical advice. This is about gardening, but it's about building your immune system. And I struggle with this because there's so much information out there. I'm trying to present it in a way that doesn't bore you. As a matter of fact, I do have some information later on in the video that I think will benefit you, but I'll get to that in a minute. This is my fall and winter garden. Again, with the crates, I'm using the crates because to keep the deer away. I don't know if you noticed or not, but that shot I just showed you of my Russian red kale, the cloth blew off a little bit. The deer got to it. This is going to be lettuce. This is a special winter lettuce, and I'm going to have to cover this. It was actually 70 yesterday, and it's gone down. It went down to the 30s last night, so I'm going to keep this covered. The reason why I'm showing you this is because this winter, 75 to 80% of my garden is going to be dedicated to immune boosting vegetables. There's been a lot of talk about COVID and other types of viruses, flus. It's that season. We're in December. A lot of people are going to Christmas parties, office parties, family gatherings, and as you know, if you follow my channel, I'm not here to lecture anyone on what they should wear, whether shots they should take or not, or mask or whatever. I am trying to, the purpose of this video is to help you to boost your immune system. Now, I guess some of you are probably thinking, well, I'll just go to the supermarket and buy what I need instead of taking all this time and being out here in the winter. I can't say cold because it's in the 60s right now. But this is my first bed of spinach. I say first because I plant in rounds. I stagger my planting, and this is starting to come along pretty good. The reason why I'm showing you this first is because this is one of the healthiest plants that you can grow and eat. I mean, spinach has iron, potassium, zinc, vitamin A, E, and some other vitamins. A lot of people consider this a superfood. So the reason why this is in my garden is because it's good for boosting your immune system. I have 3 of these, so that once that one is gone, then we have 2 more that that are coming along, and I'll use those in soups and salads. This is my red Russian kale. I planted too close together. You can see where the cover blew off and the deer got to it over here, but not over here. This is a full bed. I planted more than what I needed, so it worked out because the deer have gotten here, but they didn't do too much damage this time, so I'm not going to make a big deal out of it. But the bottom line to what I'm trying to get across here is, if you if you go to the produce department to get your greens, to get your vegetables, That should not probably be your first option, and I'll tell you why. Well, I'll tell you why now. There are a lot of pesticides and weed killer in the vegetables that we all have been buying for years. If you are the CEO of a company that grows food, you have one major job, and that is profit. So if there's weeds choking off your greens, they, generally speaking, use weed killer. It's the cheapest, fastest way to get rid of the weeds and make more money. If you have bugs in your fields and the bugs are eating up your profit, the best way to get rid of them is pesticides. Well, those aren't actually ingredients, so you're not going to see that when you buy your frozen vegetables. You're definitely not going to see it when you buy your fresh produce. What you're looking at here is I just planted dinosaur kale. And the reason why it's looking dry is because we're going to get rain tomorrow. So I don't want to water it and then have it be overwatered. So that dinosaur kale is the second one. I have another one over this way. And kale will give you calcium, vitamin C, vitamin K. And it's another one of those, what they consider superfoods. It has high nutrition. I'm not going to give you the whole rundown of everything in every garden because it's just too much information. And I'm trying to give you information without actually boring you guys. So this is the kale that I grew earlier that the deer got to. And I planted a few more seeds, and what I had earlier regrew. So that's also good news. This I still have not tidied up yet, but in here is Brussels sprouts and broccoli, and that is also very good for boosting your immune system. This is my patch of mustard greens. So you can see all throughout the garden that there's a method to my madness. This is just starting to come along. I'm not sure if you can get a good look at this. My soil doesn't look too pretty because I reuse a lot of stuff. I don't spend a lot of money on soil. I still get the good results, but I just prefer not to spend a ton of cash. So, again, to my point, you need to build up your immune system. It's just a smart thing to do. You can't wait until you get sick and then try to boost it. It's not a good idea to, well, a lot of people spend a lot of money on vitamins. These are my cabbage and collard greens. This was featured in another video I did. And over here, you'll notice I have purple cabbage because when you have vegetables that are darker in color and there's more of the dinosaur kale, you get more antioxidants. It's healthier for you. It's better for you. These carrots have been planted for a while. They're coming up nicely. And so this is also part of my arsenal. So basically, as I was saying, if you eat a lot of greens, you're getting the healthy nutrients from them, but you're also getting those hits of chemicals from the sprays, chemicals to kill the weeds, chemicals to kill the bugs. And I said to you earlier in the video, if you stuck with me, I will give you some information that you might find useful. At least I think you will. Every year, there's a list. It's called the Dirty Dozen. It's the Dirty Dozen of food. It's basically the 12 most offenders or the 12 most vegetables and fruits that contain the highest doses of pesticides. There's an organization that puts this list out every year. I'm not going to read the whole list to you. Not even going to read the first 5. I'm going to read the first 3. The first one is strawberry. Well, they're out of season. I'm in zone 7. That's another story. This used to be zone 6B, but I woke up one day and found out that the government, I guess because due to global warming, I'm not sure exactly how they decide this stuff, but I'm living in the same place. I'm not in zone 6B anymore. I'm in zone 7A. I will put a link to that video in case you're interested in finding out what zone you're in. At any rate, number 1 is strawberry on this Dirty Dozen list. Number 2 is spinach. We just talked about how healthy spinach is, and that's the reason why I have 3 different beds of spinach planted, because it's healthy, but I think I'll pass on the pesticides. I think I'll pass on the weed killer. This is why I am growing my own. This is not enough for me for the year, but this is a work in progress. I've been on this homestead a couple of months, and my goal is to grow 50% of our food, and that's going to take a while, but this is the start. Number 3 is really the trifecta. Kale, collard greens, and mustard greens. Where have you heard that before? I just showed you. The kale, collard greens, and mustard greens are all grown in my garden. They're all very beneficial for you. They're all going to help your immune system, and they all are in the top 5 of the most offenders of companies that use these pesticides. So here's your reason right there. Now, a lot of people are going to say, I'm in good health. I don't care if I get sick, so what? But there is another problem that I'm going to close with, and that is something called your autoimmune system, or your immune system. Basically, you have people, mostly elderly, who have weakened immune systems, and they can't fix it. So you may be a carrier, or you may be able to get over it, but if you have relatives that you love and care for, and you get sick, and in turn they get sick, well, this is a way to avoid it. Again, this is not a cure-all. I'm not offering any medicine. I'm not making any promises. But I'm saying that generally speaking, people get flu shots every year. There's other viruses that have come along besides the coronavirus. This is covered. I should have opened it. This is my 3rd patch of spinach that I'm growing. But again, I have it covered to keep the critters away. So that's going to come up soon. So that's basically it. Like I said, there was a lot more. I had a lot of information, a lot of facts, a lot of stuff I wanted to tell you guys. And I thought, wow, this video is going to be too long. People are going to get bored, and they're not going to get this information. It's important. At the risk of sounding overly dramatic, it could be life and death. So, basically what I'm saying is, even if there was no virus, this is stuff that I think that we should all be doing to live healthier lifestyles, to eat fresh vegetables without the chemicals. And in case you're wondering, no, there are no chemicals in my garden. The last place I lived, I did have problems with bugs, and I used non-toxic ways to deal with them. But fortunately, out here, I haven't had that problem yet. I think I had one plant. I had a little issue here, but these plants are healthy. They're thriving. And pretty soon I'm going to be harvesting these carrots. So that's it. I always promise not to keep you guys long, but this was an important video. It's important to me. I hope you pass this on. I hope that you share this with your friends and relatives. I hope that you guys stay safe, not just over the holidays, but year-round. And that's it for me. I'll be back in a couple of days with a new video. Please subscribe. And remember, I'm the Frugal Gardener. And I always tell you, when you grow your own food, you'll always know where it comes from. And that's especially true in this particular video. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you soon.